I'm back once again. And guess what? You all don't have to worry about my little noise things because my kids like to borrow things that's not theirs, you know? So, you know, welcome to the pink link, and you will get your choo because you know what that means in the big cities out there. So with us being the Pink Link podcast, we just decide, you know, it's a journey here too, because we have powerful, innovative, next level conversations. And so today I have a guest on because we're, you know, it's the month of January. So we're talking fitness and things of that nature. So today I just felt like it was right to have him on here. And here goes Tarae Morton. So I'm going to let him tell you more about himself. Over to you, Tarae.
All right. So what's going on, everyone? My name is Tarae Morton. I create experiences for business professionals looking to improve their lives and fitness, organization, productivity, and stress relief. Now, by trade, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a certified sports nutrition consultant. But what I learned, you know, in my journey, but before I go on, I just want to thank you, Marquita, for allowing me to come on and grace your stage, your platform. It's an honor. This is my first podcast, so you know, I'm not as structured as I need to be, but I will drive my point. All right, so I just talk for a minute, and you know, you can ask me any question that you know, you'd like to have answered, especially if it's pertaining to your audience. So again, my name is Tarae Morton. I'm a certified personal trainer and sports nutrition consultant. I own a few businesses, and you know, my goal, you know, in the fitness space was to help people become the strongest human beings they can possibly be. Now, with that being said, there's some things that always get in the way, or it is always preventing, you know, the ideal individual from being their greatest self. So what I've learned over the years was to, you know, get to a place where I can truly help people. It's not enough for me to get on, you know, get on a video or get on a platform and just do meathead workouts. Do a bunch of workouts that, you know, a lot of people cannot do. You know, I had to get to a place where I was, you know, pretty much, you know, I had training wheels on the things that I was trying to instruct, or things that I was trying to promote for others to do. And, you know, that is the approach that I've been taking throughout the most recent years, and it seems to be pretty effective. So, you know, as far as like nutrition goes, again, it's something that you know, you have to meet people where they are. So I've taken the approach to, you know, really promote nutrition from a beginner's perspective, and you know, that has worked out for me. So, you know, we freestyling. So Marquita, ask me some questions.
Okay, let's get it.
I get pumped off questions. Ask me anything.
Okay, well, I thank you for that gesture. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. So, how did you come about finding because I didn't even write any questions down for you, because I'm asking the questions that I know I want to know in this realm. You know, a lady struggle up and down. You know, so I'm like, okay, I already know what to ask.
Yes.
I can relate to this. So, what made you get into, you know, fitness yourself? Is it something that, you know, you had to lose weight, or you just felt like you was the one to help others, you know, to lose the weight or just change their mindsets?
You know, it was the reverse for me. I was actually trying to gain weight. I wanted to lift weights. I wanted to be a person that had like this, you know, this solid physique. You know, people don't know, but I'm actually 6'6". So, you know, I was 6'6". At one point, I was 6'6", 175. So, you know, I needed to have the physique that was, you know, balanced out, that was well proportioned. So I ended up lifting weights. I started lifting weights with my couple of buddies in college. I played basketball. So, you know, I started out just lifting weights, you know, on a continuous basis on a consistent basis with, you know, with my college teammates. So from there, you know, I just grown to love it. And, you know, at that point, people knew who I was just off of, you know, me, you know, developing a particular physique. So they say, hey, how do I lose my stomach? How do I get better legs? Or, you know, how do I get a bigger chest, guys? How do I get a bigger chest? How do I build a physique, the ideal physique, or whatever. So they depended on me for that. So I got to a place where I was like, okay, people are asking me questions. They're asking me consistent questions. So, you know, that's when I said, hey, you know what, let me just become a personal trainer and let me get a sports nutrition consultant certification so that I can be licensed to
Right.
to
To
educate people and to help people. So that's how that began. I've been doing it for over 20 years.
Wow, amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So in that 20-year span, like what have you gained from, helping transform the lives of others? Like, or what have they gained per se in you transforming their life? Do you have like one client that, you had this transformation with and, a story behind that transformation?
Yeah, it was a couple of them, but one in particular that really stands out. She lost 147 pounds, and
Wow.
she kept it off. So she's been down for about 8 years. She lost that weight about 8 years ago, and she kept it off. So, but one thing that let me tell you how God works. Can I talk about God on here?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes, you're on the right platform.
All right, so look, let me tell you how God works. All it takes is one person. All it takes is for you to change the life of one person, and thousands will follow. Literally thousands of people follow her because I was living in Burlington Township, New Jersey. Burlington Township, New Jersey. It was like a suburb out there in South Jersey. I'm in Jersey right now. So this young lady, I met her through someone else I was training, and from day one, I mean, she was just she had a goal. She said, I just want to lose weight. She showed up every day, never missed a workout. Everything I recommended to her from a nutrition perspective, she did everything. I mean, she was a doer. It got to a place where she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just keep going. I'm not gonna stop. I remember where I used to be. She was also plagued with conditions stemming from weight gain. She had sarcoidosis, high blood pressure. She was on the verge of getting diabetes. She said, "No, I want to reverse this because I feel that there's more to life than me taking all this medication." She pulled out this big bag of medication. She said, "I don't want to take any of this." And fast forward to today, she's not taking much of those meds now. She's I think she's about she's late 50s, early 60s. And she loves it. She loves it just like it was yesterday. She's been engaging in fitness, nutrition, and really setting some serious goals for herself. And I've seen nothing but progress with that. So
amazing.
Yeah.
And were you about to say something?
Yeah, real quick, just to add to that point, because she was the poster child of Tarae Morton, because she was the poster child of this particular experience. She belonged to a church. At the time, the church that she was going to, I was actually thinking about becoming a member. Then there was this young pastor, Pastor Corey Jones. He came in. He said, "Hey, you know what? I'm impressed by what you've done with Linda. Linda's the lady's name. I'm impressed with what you've done with Linda. Can you do that for our congregation?" So I ended up being the church's corporate trainer for the church. Now with that partnership allowed me to train thousands of people that were residents of Burlington County. It grew into like partnerships. So it started out at the church. I was training people at the church. I was training them for a fee. Then I started training them for free. Then the free was able to establish a contract where I get paid and still train people for free. And it turned out to be thousands of people that that were touched by that particular.
Wow.
And Burlington Township houses about 437,000 residents, and they all had access to this one program. So they were constantly coming in. It wasn't 400,000, but it was a couple thousand actually that came in. Yeah, that came in, and they were touched by the program and the routines that I put in place. And just to add to that, before you move to your point, because of that impact, just off of one person, it began to spread. The impact began to spread. To date, I don't train at the program, but the trainers that I train, they actually run the program that I started. So you know, the program's still up and running to this day. We've been up for about going on 10 years.
That's all right.
Yes.
The longevity in it, like you trying to carry the torch and it's still going and moving, like changing the lives.
And they're carrying it with honor. They're carrying it with honor.
Yes, amazing. And only point I was gonna say was, I know I say lose weight, but for me now, it's much more than losing weight. Like you were saying, you know, not having to, you know, she's not having to have those bag of pills anymore, but more so your health. Like everybody looking at the number, but when you start doing these things, you know, it impacts you internally as well as externally, you know. So to get people to that mindset, to see it as a bigger picture than just that number, how do you do that? You know, because some people just focus on the number on the scale. So
well, that's a very good question. And just to kind of give you my spill, I create experiences for business professionals looking to improve their lives in fitness, organization, productivity, and stress relief. Now, let me just break down some of the medications that people are taking, or some of the conditions that people are going through that they don't particularly have to go through. All right. So when you think about fitness, if you give the subject or the title fitness to someone who hasn't worked out in months or years, it automatically brings a certain level of stress to their lives, especially if they are forced to have to do it because of the conditions that they're experiencing. So my approach with that is I treat everyone the same way. We walk to the stage. We don't run and try to get everything done all in one day, because that equals quitting. A lot of times when you do too much, you get too much too early, it's not sustainable. It's not mentally sustainable. So, you know, people end up falling off and they'll live with excuses. Oh, I'll get back on. So the fitness aspect, we walk, we crawl before we walk. So, you know, you know, having a regimen, having a routine that doesn't require a whole bunch. Like I like to start people from home. The days of me going and training people one-on-one at the gym, those days are over. But what I do, what I will do is I'll turn on a Zoom call, or I'll turn on a FaceTime, and I will you know, just kind of get an idea of what do people have in their houses. Anyone can work out at home. It doesn't matter the space. You don't have to run and jump and do all these extra activities. It's just a matter of stationary movement, breaking the sweat, you know, challenging the muscles, and working within your limitations. So, you know, that approach I take from fitness. Now, when it comes to organization, productivity, and stress relief, that's connected to fitness, because when you're not organized, if you're not organized and you're not getting things done effectively, fitness is always going to be on the back burner, because it's new. It's new. You thrived. You've gotten through life without it. More than likely, it'll be the first thing to go. So when things get rough, things get tough, fitness is typically the first thing to go with most people. Now with the organizational component, disorganization causes stress. Disorganization, it creates a sense of mistrust. Like, why am I going to trust where you're going or what you're saying if you're not organized with your thoughts, you're not organized with your physical? Why would I trust that? So that plays a role. Then you have productivity, getting stuff done. Can you get stuff done? Can you accomplish the things that you say you're going to do? And then stress, the stress relief. Stress is always going to be there, but do you know how to channel the stress? For the most part, some stress is actually good. Some stress is actually good for the body, because it challenges your mind. It challenges you to solve problems without technology, solve problems without having to depend on others. So, you know, in some cases, it's best to just kind of sit in the stress and figure it all out. Now, when you have all these things and you're able to come to a resolve in all of those areas, now what you do is you bring it all back and you organize it. What am I going to give first? What am I going to allocate time to do first? What am I going to allocate time to do second? What am I going to allocate time to do third? And then try to figure out the things that you can sustain every day before you start jumping all over the place. So my goal with the approach that I'm taking right now is to give people the fighting chance of achieving what they want to achieve in the fitness aspects, because sometimes you don't achieve your fitness or your wellness goals because you're all over the place. You're trying to do 20 different things. When 20 different things can be done, but you got to break it down. You have to get to a place where you have momentum first. Start with 2 or 3 things. Do that for a couple of weeks. Make sure that those time slots are uninterrupted. Then grab onto other things. Don't try to do all 20 and 30 things at one time, because you're gonna fail, and the first thing that's gonna go is fitness.
Wow, you preaching to me. I feel like I be having to figure it out sometime, but then I guess I add something else on, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna do it later. Yeah. No. The 5 P's, as they say, and I love how you have your instructions, but proper performance prevents poor preparation or something like that.
Oh yeah, poor preparation prevents proper performance.
Right, you got it. Thank you. Yeah. But I love how you break that down, because it really makes you go into, deep depth of why you need to get this done and why you need to be more organized so that you can stay consistent with your fitness journey. And so with it being the new year, because by the time we air this, it will be the first week of January. And so, many people are going on all this stuff, the New Year's resolution thing. And then by the end of the month or next week or tomorrow, they falling off. And you, as you stated, because they're trying to do too much at one time. Like, maybe, what do you think about this? Maybe tackle the eating first, because doesn't it start with nutrition? And then next week, maybe get in the gym. So what do you think about that?
Both at the same time. Both at the same time. It doesn't have to be 100 miles an hour nutrition, 100 miles an hour eating. It could be 5 miles an hour eating, 5 miles an hour nutrition. But do both at the same time, because you want to be moving. All right. Nobody's gonna follow a stalled car. No one follows a parked car. No one follows a parked car. So if you have goals, if you have a routine, if you have something that you're looking to establish in 2022, you have to be moving. Now, you move at your own pace. You don't have to move at the pace of, Flojo over here, who's been doing it for years and years and years. You move at your own pace. But the key is you want to move. So 5 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour is much faster than you sitting on the sofa at 0 miles an hour, So, just getting started, if you want to put that in minutes, really 5 to 10 minutes start. If you've never done anything, 5 to 10 minutes start. I have a workout for 5 minutes. I have a workout for 10 minutes. I have a workout for 15, 50. I don't go too much over an hour. But just do something. Now, I do have workouts that go over an hour, but I don't recommend working out over an hour. We got stuff to do. We're busy. We're business professionals. We got stuff to do. So if we can at the very least break a nice sweat between 30 and 50 minutes, just go ahead on with your day, because you did something. You can always intensify as the days go by, but for the most part, just start. And then as far as nutrition goes, and then another thing, starting is not just jumping out there. Starting is preparing, figuring out what your time looks like, using your calendar. Okay, look, I take my kids to school at 7 o'clock. After 7 o'clock, I got to get dressed to go to work. Okay, so let me just break this down. Let me go backwards. Maybe if I work out for 15, 20 minutes while my kids are asleep, and then when they get up, I can get them ready, then I can get in the shower, I can start my day. 15 minutes could grow into 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Before you know it, you're doing 50 minutes 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 5 times a week. And that's a solid regimen. Now, the look, what's going to seal the deal is the nutrition, the rest, and the water. Now, let me talk to you about what I've been doing the whole 2021. I've been trying to get people to go to sleep and drink more water.
Right.
I've been trying to get people, look, that's a whole nother story. Okay, so the ideal amount of water, how much water you drink?
For a gallon, but I'm gonna be honest, this past weekend, I guess, I don't know, I didn't meet my gallon and I got to go get some water today. And I don't like the faucet water. So I'm like, okay, I got to go to the store. But yes, yeah. I aim for a gallon or almost a gallon. I don't beat myself up, but it be like that much left a lot of times.
So 64 ounces to a gallon is the ideal amount of water you should be drinking. How many hours of sleep are you getting?
I would say it seems like it's been 7 lately.
Okay, all right. 7 to 9 hours. Now, here's why. Okay, so when you're drinking water, you need to be hydrated. The more water you drink, the less toxins your body is going to hold. All right, you'll be able to flush your body, flush your system of all the the things that you don't need, the things that you need for nutrients. That needs water to be distributed throughout the body. Right. Same thing with your blood flow. Your blood flows better. Just everything works better in your body when you drink water. That, without being scientific, everything works better in your body when you drink water. When you're getting rest, you're not just resting your tired body, your beat up, your broken down body from working out. You're actually resting your mind. You can't go anywhere without your mind. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is the ideal amount of sleep. People say, oh, sleep is a cousin of death, or sleep is, sleep is for suckers. People say that. But for the most part, sleep is an opportunity for your body to recharge your battery. All right. Now your battery could be your heart, your battery could be your brain, your battery could be your stomach. Either way, you're recharging your system. All right. You need to recharge that system so that you can go and accomplish things more effectively. Yesterday could have been like one of your worst days. The greatest thing about yesterday is that you were able to sleep and make it to today. If you made it to today, yesterday don't even matter. Yesterday don't even matter. You work on today, and if you're charged up, and if you're hydrated and charged up enough to work on today, you got a better chance of achieving the goals that you set today, as opposed to playing catch up from sleep you didn't get last night. Because if you don't sleep, if you're not sleeping adequately, it shows up. It shows up in your performance. It shows up how you spend. It shows up in the decisions that you're making with people. Somebody that get on your nerve, that if you're not rested, somebody get on your nerve, you might just punch them in the head. Whereas if you're rested, when you're rested and you're thinking about your goals, and you're understanding the power of God, you're understanding what God has done for you, you're less likely to punch somebody in the head. You're more likely to talk to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna still bring peace. If you don't want peace, that's fine, but that's all I have. And if you can't embrace that, then I can walk this way. It's no problem. Whereas if you're rattled, you're fried, and then you got new problems coming your way, and then the wrong person on the wrong day come to you, that could be catastrophic.
You're already cranky.
You need sleep more than anything. People need more sleep than they realize. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is a game changer. You'd be amazed at how much you can get done doing that. And then on top of that, drinking 64 ounces to a gallon.
And it also helps your body to recover, after you work, for you to see the gains, and also in the choices you make with your food, because if you're not sleeping right, a lot of times you're craving things that you don't need, because of that lack of sleep.
Yes.
And so, as always, I like to have the guests to, say something to the audience today, in which that can uplift and inspire their lives, because you've experienced it, and we just want to get it to them on this platform today.
Absolutely. Well, look, here's what I want you to take away today. All right. When you're establishing your wellness goals, just plan it out. Take your time. You don't have to do 10 things in one day. You don't have to do 10 things at a time. You don't have to have 10 things on the burners at a time. Just take a couple, master those few, even if it's just one, master that one, and make sure you're planning it out. Make sure you're getting the right nutrients, the right amount of water. Make sure you're getting enough rest, And you know, put your best foot forward in just a few things as opposed to trying to do 10 and 20 things at one time. Because what happens with us as business professionals, we have this thing in our community what we call chasing squirrels. We want to do Turo, we want to do real estate, we want to do what's the Bitcoin, we want to do a brick and mortar, we want to do an online business, we want to have a clothing business, we want to do YouTube, we want to do you could do all those things, but you have to take your time. Your fitness life, your fitness, your fitness and nutrition life, your wellness life as a whole, that's the most important thing for you, because when you elevate that, everything else elevates. Everything else elevates. So have a fitness routine, spend time with God, make sure you using the journal, use your calendar for organization. There's some other organizational tools that you can use. You have Trello, you have Asana. You know, people like to just use their, their notes on the phone. Either way, there's Evernote, but either way, just make sure that you're doing everything you can to stay organized, organize everything, plan everything out, set goals around the things that you're planning out, and just take your time. 2022 is going to be the best year of your life, but just make sure you take your time and get things done the right way. Remember, when you start your fitness routine and you start your nutrition regimen, make sure you just spend time with it. You don't have to just say, oh, it's January 1st, I got to just jump in. If you're ready to jump in, do that, but it takes preparation to master where you're going. That's all. I'm off my soapbox.
I love it. I love it all. Like, you hitting the points, you hitting them there. And so I must tell y'all that I had the pleasure to work out online with Tarae at least a couple of times. And it was awesome every time. I didn't feel the soreness that day, but I'd say maybe that day after or two. And I'm like, hey, why this hurting? And I'm like, oh, Tarae beat me up. Yeah. So I felt the body, But also, how can they find you so they can, have that same pleasure that I got in working out with you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. My name is Tarae Morton. I create experiences for business professionals seeking solutions in fitness, organization, productivity, and stress relief. You can find me on Instagram at Tarae Morton. At Tarae Morton. I also have a community called Wipe the Sweat. You can check that out. You can sign up for that. If you're interested in that, the link is in my bio. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm also going to be on YouTube very soon, but Instagram is my mainstay at the moment.
Okay, and I'm going to drop that in the description box below, his information, so y'all can tap in, support, and follow the brother. Like, he dropped so many gems on you getting started with your health. Like I always like to say, no amount of wealth compensates for your health, So you can get all the money you want, but what does it any good if you cannot enjoy and spend it and live the life you want? And as I always say as well, because the life you want, you create, So take heed to everything that's been said on this call today, this Zoom podcast, whatever, y'all get me. But and just really just start, because I personally, I got to be more organized. I do good for a good period of time. And with me being plant-based and vegan, sometimes I think, okay, well, I can kind of lay back, but no, I still have to be mindful of what I'm intaking and not a lot of processed things, and just really, get my fitness and nutrition aligned on this journey as well. So it's not to beat anyone up, but it's just to inform, as always, because we have powerful, innovative, next level conversations where we uplift, inform, and inspire here. So y'all go be great, and always remember the life you want, you create. So blessings on blessings to you. Thank you once again for Tarae coming out and sharing your expertise.
See you later.